He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness. Come
on. It's Sunday. There's no Joey Work, and the second I saw it, I knew somebody was going to say this. Anytime they don't hit the music on schedule, I blame Holden. What up, fellas? And it was JJ's fault, and he's going to blame it on Macchiato, I'm sure. What's the reason, JJ Appricina?
Let the record show was a total of 1 minute late to the show.
2.
I don't think that's worth penalizing, considering that most weeks we start almost 10 minutes late because of Seth. So I think that this wasn't
true at all.
This wasn't my best showing today. I apologize to anybody that's been negatively impacted by this today, especially Gary, who just goes with the flow and doesn't complain. I am not apologetic to Seth though. So let's move the show along further, please. Thank you, Seth.
Where's Work? Where's Joseph today?
Traveling somewhere in his jet setter lifestyle. I'm not sure where he's heading to or from, but I do believe he's on an airplane.
Do you have NASCAR today? Is there another race?
Yes.
Good Lord. Does this fucking sport ever give a break? Or is it just seems like it's relentless? Every week there's another race?
Was that like no pun intended with the give a break, Seth? Keep up the good work there. Not bad.
What would the pun be there?
We'll give a break. It's NASCAR. Overall, though,
I'm still not getting this. Like a pit stop or what?
Like cars have brakes, Seth.
Oh, cars do have brakes.
I mean, Gary, this is what we deal with every Sunday. Could you fucking imagine?
I mean,
hi, Gary.
How do you not know what braking means? Like,
I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't think about the cars with the brakes. That's all I'm saying.
You should have just went along with it. You would have made yourself look a lot better.
It doesn't matter. The worse I look, the better the show is. Okay, Gary, get with the program, buddy. We've been doing
that's true.
For 3-4 years
we like those anti-Holden comments.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. They're going to blame me. It's JJ's fault. That's about it. What's going on in your worlds, boys? Gary, you're wearing your Braves stuff again. The Braves offense just doesn't stop. I know you're going to talk about the bottom of the Braves order today. So what's happening, dude?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I'm trying the 150 streets today. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to spread my exposure out a little bit today, but I think we have some big edges to be had on this slate. I like it a lot. The Braves implied total is a run higher than the next highest implied total on the slate. They're going to be very popular, but there's still an edge. The top 6 of the Braves lineup will be mega popular, and we're going to play the bottom of the order today and win some cheese.
Okay. And JJ, last week when you came on the show, it was you were on the hottest heater in the history of the world. You were burning hotter than the sun. Now, I have not looked at the tracking sheet, so I'm not setting you up here or anything. You could be doing great still. How's it been going on the betting side?
Been a rough week. Been a rough week. Well timed on your end, host. Yeah, it's been a rough week for me. But yeah, looking forward to starting getting some more bullpen variants in my favor. And yesterday was a 50-50 split, so I can't totally complain. I felt like I had a decent read on most of the games from folks that did watch that show yesterday. But just looking forward to this week, starting today.
All right. Very good. He's got to get out of here. JJ has to get out of here in 54 minutes. So it's only an 8-game DFS slate for the main slate. We'll get as much as we can done. How about that? How about that promise? Let's get right into this. We do DFS first, and then we move on to the betting side. And instead of what we do during the week where we break down the pitchers and then we go to the bidders, we just do everything. We do everything here to start it. And Gary, I don't want to look down what's going on under your desk right now because I think it's probably very offensive since we're going to start with the Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Braves get Colin Ray, and you love AJ Smith-Shawver, who couldn't strike anybody out in the minors, has had a couple of strikeouts, or 1 strikeout per inning here in the majors. So talk to us here. How are we stacking the Braves, and do you like AJSS?
Yeah, so I'll start with the pitcher. AJ, I mean, he's nothing incredible. He's not getting any strikeouts, but I like the price here. I like the matchup here against the Brew Crew in Atlanta. I attack this Milwaukee team as much as I can, but I mean, you look at their strikeout rate over the last 30 days. This lineup only has a 15% strikeout rate, but the ISO numbers are down, 115 ISO against righties. I don't hate it here today. I think Smith-Shawver can get us 90 to 100 pitches. I like others in the range more, but I will have a little bit of him. He's not a core play or a main team play by any stretch of the imagination, more of an MME type play to get us a little bit different. So, yeah, I do like a little bit of A.J. Smith-Shawver. And, of course, I like the Braves. They have an implied total 1 run higher than the next team total on today's slate. You're going to see the top 6 of this, the top 5 of this lineup very owned today. And then Michael Harris will probably come in right behind them. Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen are definitely going to be the most popular on today's slate. Ronald Acuna Jr. just got his 50th steal yesterday before August. So, I mean, he's just a monster. He's going to continue to crush at 6,600. He is probably going to be the highest owned bat on the slate today, though. I'm seeing 35%, 40%. So I'll probably be a little under that in my MME sets. I'm definitely not going to fade the best position one-way player in baseball because he is the best one-way player in baseball. So, yeah, I definitely like this team top to bottom. But I will say Marcell Ozuna, let's touch on him real quick. He's coming off a 2 home run game yesterday. In the first inning, he barely missed another home run. It hit off the top of the wall. Marcell Ozuna is one of, if not the streakiest hitter in baseball. I think we get him under 10% today. I think we get him, Rosario, and Arcia, who, I mean, Rosario hit a bomb yesterday too. I believe Arcia hit a bomb, or he thought he hit a bomb, and then it got called back or something like that. So, I mean,
Gary.
What's up? What's up?
51 minutes left in this show.
We're fine. We got
JJ has to go do the bet side.
You know what's funny, Gary? When we have a 4-man panel, people can talk for hours about their mother, about what they did the night before, the weeks before, what they did in 1996. All you're doing is breaking down a game, and there's only 2 of us ready to talk. We're definitely
doing it very well. He's doing it very well.
Yeah. We don't have 15 games to go through. We have 8, and we have to make it last an hour.
I think you're doing a great job. I just wanted to hop in, and I know we were talking about the Braves. I didn't want this to go another 5 minutes. I just wanted this.
So I'll summarize.
Thank you. Summary.
Play the bottom of the order. Play 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2.
Right.
Get a wraparound stat going. Reach around, whatever you want to call it, because they're going to crush. I mean, it's just a matter of fact. We're in Atlanta. It's some of the hottest weather on the slate because a cool front came across the slate or the U.S. yesterday. So, bottom of the order Braves.
Let me jump in here with some important stuff. I do not go to strip clubs. I do not go to strip clubs, Jason. It's just not the fact. I was not in the middle of a lap dance, and I can't remember last time I was inside of one. I find them to be smelly and disgusting. Abe Toro with his weekly dig. I actually think this was one good since it's the MLB trade deadline. Can you trade me to another DFS site? I basically think this is probably the end of the line for me, and nobody else would want me. Jacob Stubbs chiming in. God damn it. Trevor Bryan, I appreciate your prep. Thank you, Trevor. That was very nice. And I'd love to talk boats and alpacas, but as I told Gary, I told him to hurry up on the Braves, and I don't want to derail the show or anything like that. So let's get right back on track here, Gary. JJ, it's your turn. If you want to talk about this game, the total's 11. The Braves are an unbettable -190 and plus, so let's see here. If we're going with the run line, -1.5, it's even money for the Braves. You got anything here?
Yeah. Strong lean under the number. The massive number for the park. You're just not going to see many 11s, 11.5s at this park. It's also a little cooler yesterday than today. It's not cold by any means, to be clear, but it is a little cooler today. Definitely cooler here today, about 10 or 15 degrees cooler in Jersey, New York than it was yesterday. So yeah, I just think it's a massive number for the park. It's really tough. You bet that under, just don't even watch the game. That's going to be a tough game to watch, not rooting for runs. And separate from that, I can't believe Gary's in the middle of cooking and Holden shuts the stove off. Meanwhile, 2 weeks ago, we had to listen to you talk about alpacas for about 25 minutes.
Last week?
Last week, the week before, I don't know, but it was awful.
I will just say this, Boss Bro. I have entered plenty of quarter and $1 entries today. So you can go screw, dude. That's all I can say. Summer 33 is the promo. 33. I think this is going out the window here pretty soon too. So we got 39 days to the NFL. We got preseason NFL. We got the NASCAR. We got the tennis. We got the UFC. We've got baseball and just everything you can imagine under the sun. I even think someone's doing WNBA for us, probably Rubio, if you're into that stuff. So by all means, check it out. Summer 33. Hit the like button. Let's keep going. Game number 2, Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. This will be my favorite bet, so you want to go against me on this one. Rich Hill against our boy Sanchez, Jesus Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez, Chris Sanchez, whatever you want to call him. And Gary, I know you like him today. This kid's got a nice little matchup against the Pittsburgh Pirates team that cannot put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, so I picked up, I mentioned in the playbook today that I picked up the Sanchez guy in season long a few weeks ago, and he's treated me really well. And now he gets arguably the best matchup for a left-handed pitcher in baseball. Just look at his numbers here over the last 5 weeks. Just been really good, consistent. He's not getting like a crazy 25% strikeout rate or anything like that. But he does have a 3.23 xFIP along with a 22% strikeout rate, only a 3% walk rate, just south of 3% at 2.7%. Under a 1 whip too. Just getting a lot of ground balls. And getting the job done. And now he gets one of the best, like I said, one of the best matchups in baseball. Love the price tag here. He's one of my favorite pitchers on the slate today, and I will be way overweight on him. I also like the Philadelphia Phillies bats here against Rich Hill. He's just not good. I don't know what I have to say. The dude's 43 years old. I like this whole lineup top to bottom here today. I know we got Garrett Stubbs in there over JT Realmuto, which is a little bummer, but I still like the top 6 of this lineup pretty good, including Edmundo Sosa, who just he just seems to be a really good ball player. So I like him a lot, and I don't think he's going to be owned on this slate.
So the total is 9 here, and the Pirates are plus $1.25 at home, minus 45 for the Phillies on the road, JJ. Again, I just think this is a massive chasm on a couple of levels. First of all, offensively with the Phillies, despite the fact that they hadn't been spectacular lately, Pirates cannot hit the ball. They can't get the bat on the ball. And then Sanchez, pretty good pitcher, and Dick Mountain's having some issues. So talk to me here. Any thoughts on this game?
You said you had a best bet. Did you give that out?
No, I'm going to listen to you break it down. Then I'm going to decide on which way I want to go.
Yeah, I don't think that part's true.
I'm going to go with I got the Phillies run line first 5 at even money. That'll be my best bet here. I just think there really is a big difference between the 2 starting pitchers. The Pirates' inability to score runs. The Phillies, can hit a couple of bombs. So there you go. That's my favorite.
I will say, when I first looked at this line, I did want to make a strong lean towards the Pirates in the opposite direction, grabbing that half run. But based on the data, it's hard to go that way. I didn't realize how much better Christopher Sanchez has been pitching as of late. When his first few starts, he definitely had an inflated xFIP, an inflated Sierra. All those numbers have come down. So kudos to the kid for finding some success. Total to me is about neutrally fair. After digging into it, I don't want to bet the Pirates plus the half run, so we'll call that fair on my end. So indifferent to your bet, Holden, but no strong takes anyway in this game. Okay,
very good. Mangone says that we have a big announcement coming Thursday. Do you think it's about him, JJ, or is it something else? Do you think Mangone's doing something with a big announcement? Do we have other things going on? Is it a new promo code?
No, I don't think it's going to be a new promo code. Okay. It could be about Mangone's life. Who knows? Mangone lives a busy life. He was just in New York City living the dream. So, for all I know, could be something big coming out of Mangone.
Gary, any thoughts?
Mangone.
Yeah. Gary, any thoughts what this big news could be that we're releasing on Thursday?
Do you live under a rock, Holden, or what?
I do not live in a rock. No.
Okay.
I live in Denver.
Well, Big T put a tweet out earlier this week.
Oh, did he?
We have a pretty big hire announcement coming up on Thursday.
Look at that. Who is it? Who's coming here, Gary?
You have to tune in on Thursday.
Aren't I doing the show on Thursday?
You're gonna have to tune it.
Well, you can't because I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. Let's just get back to the games here. Jesus, Gary, you're just
doing a great job. You're doing a great job so far, Seth.
You say that every week. You should just type it in the chat. And oh, look at this. Mangone got a new M&M hat. That is, what's the new announcement, chat? I'd love to know exactly. Actually, Michael says it's a new hire. I cannot imagine that we're making a big deal out of a new hire. Washington and the Mets, good old Trevor Williams, who you always want to target in DFS, but never seems to get blown up. You got Verlander on the other side. This whole Mets team is just a complete shit show right now after Scherzer's gone. Gary, can you make a case for either side offensively, or do you just want to go Verlander?
So I'm seeing Verlander. I have issues with Verlander for one. His numbers over the last month have not really been that good.
Okay.
And I'm seeing that he's going to be the second highest owned pitcher on today's slate. I'm going to full fade Justin Verlander here. I don't like Justin Verlander chalk. I don't like typically targeting against the Nationals either. They're just really pesky. They only have a 17.5% strikeout rate over the last 30 days against right-handed pitching. And there's a lot of green on their screen when it comes to ISO and WOBA. They've been hitting the ball pretty good recently. I don't hate the Nationals here as a low-owned, we all know on Sundays, DFS, these baseball games, it gets crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if the Nationals put up a big number here, even against Verlander. So I don't hate it in MME. I'm going to have some in my 150. But definitely I'm going to be fading Verlander here. And I would be more on the Washington side from a betting angle. I haven't looked at the numbers or, any of the odds on it, but I definitely like the Nationals here.
All right, very good. Then if we look at the numbers here on the betting side, total's 9, JJ, with Williams and Verlander. Nats are plus 195. I don't know who wants to lay a minus 230 price with the Mets right now. Do you?
No, I do like the bats in this game. I wanted to bet this over, but man, 8.5. If Verlander throws a halfway decent game and the Mets do what they've been doing, which is not really hitting with any consistency, it's just tough. A warm weather game though. And this number is honestly low enough for this park with the bats from both ends, but I couldn't convince myself to go over that hill. As far as pitching, I agree. I wouldn't play Verlander at all today. I agree with Gary. I wouldn't play Verlander at all today. Between the price, the ownership, there's just to me better pivots. And yeah, Williams unplayable, so that's fine. But the sticks, I would mix and match sticks from this game because I do think that there's going to be quite a few balls that leave the yard today in this park. But other than that, no strong take from me here either.
Okay, just real quick, like button would be great. Summer 33 promo code. Let me read the tweet from Tony Niehaus. What do you call him? Anthony Wayne, JJ. It doesn't get any bigger than this for Run Pure Sports. We want the most talent possible. After a long negotiation, we have managed to bring in one of the biggest winners in the history of DFS. Do not miss it. And Calico Tony says it's Siege. You think it's Siege? I'm going to take that as a no. Game number 4 of an 8-game slate. Gary, we got Detroit and Miami. We got a hell of a pitching matchup here. Wow. The Lizard King, Luzardo, who's up to 11K now. And then we got Tariq Skubal, the lefty, who's pitched pretty damn well himself as of late. We've got a Miami lineup, 8 riders, but one of which is not Jorge Soler. And on the other side, you got Luzardo against the Tigers team that is complete shit. So, Gary, is it just both pitchers? Is it as simple as that?
I mean, it's definitely both pitchers in this game. Luzardo, this dude has just been incredible over the last, ever since, I don't even know what to say. Versus lefties, he's just unstoppable. Versus righties, even, he's been pretty good. He's still giving up a little bit of hard contact, but man, this is the Detroit team that while they have been hitting better as of late, I'm still not scared of them here. Luzardo is, he's going to definitely be the highest owned pitcher on the slate, probably get 50% owned on the slate. We do know crazy things have happened on Sundays. So, but man, it's hard for me not to just go overweight on Luzardo here. It's just an incredible matchup. And the same goes for Skubal on the other side. Skubal has been really, really good since coming off the IL. He got up to 80 pitches in this last start. I think you can get up to 90 here. 243 xFIP, 35% strikeout rate, only a 4% walk rate since he made his return, and a whip of under 0.9. So that's pretty good. Love both pitchers in this game, and I'm not going to have any hitters.
JJ, the books just want to bet They want you to bet the over here. It's 7, -10 both sides. Tigers +135, Marlins -155. And the first 5 total is 3.5. You want to go after this here?
Most forgiving park in baseball for pitchers. And you got 2 good ones going against 2, blah lineups. So I get it. Total's probably where it should be. As far as Scooble, believe it or not, just based on leverage alone, I actually like him more than Luzardo. You're going to save about 3,300 there ish, or 2,300 there, and then the ownership is going to be a little less than a third. So yeah, I think it's hard, just like it was last week, right? I think we had the same conversation last Sunday. Luzardo's in a great spot; he's going to be high owned, but how do you fade him? I think it's kind of the same thing. It's like, I know people might be arguing about how to fade Verlander today, but Luzardo's in so much of a better spot, and Verlander's not going to be much less owned than him either. So. Yeah, look, what Luzardo beat you today. I think it's a dangerous fade. And then Scooble, to me, you should be just about the same weight on both pitchers because Scooble, that's where you'll be able to gain some traction. It looks like he's going to be about sub 15% owned today-ish. That could be because of his pitch count issues. That could be because he's a big dog. That could be because he's on the road. But needless to say, a lot of good factors there for his price. So, yeah, I would agree with Gary. Love both pitchers.
All right. I just want to let everybody know that one of the biggest, if not the biggest, person here at RPS, one AP Andrew Peterson. I mean, he's dropping a hint here. I can't call him Siege. He's the Siege. So maybe he's dropping hints. Maybe he's not. Monster announcement coming up Thursday here at RPS. Really looking forward to that. Okay. Next one. Gary would be Minnesota at Kansas City. I mean, what a shit show this one could be. Maeda on the mound against Ryan Yarborough. So you don't like Maeda, I feel like, Gary. You have something personal against him. The guy's got 3 of his last 4 starts have been remarkable. He's facing the Royals, who we love to target. Why would you not play a ton of Maeda today? Because he's too chalky?
For one, yes, I think he's going to see he's going to come in probably right behind Verlander in ownership here. I mean, the swinging strike rate is the highest on the slate over the last 5 weeks for Maeda. It's definitely a scary fade. But, man, he's just been giving up so much hard contact to both sides of the plate, 56% versus lefties, 70% versus righties over the last 30 days, even with those incredible strikeout numbers. And this Royals team has been hitting the ball as of late. Bobby Witt has been hitting the ball. Massey's been hitting the ball. Furman's been hitting the ball. I'm mad that Isbell's not in the lineup because he had been hitting the ball well too. This is more of like a leverage thing for me today. I'm just going to fade Maeda. I'm going to push all my chips in on Luzardo and Scooble in those areas. I'm just going to double down on those 2 guys. And I'm going to stack some – I'm going to have some 5-man Royal stacks. I just think weird stuff happens on Sundays all the time. And this Royals team has been hitting a little bit. Drew Waters even in the 7-hole, like him here too. So I'm more so on the Royals bats here. I don't hate going to Yarborough here. He's 5,300 against a Twins team that strikes out like the most in the bigs. I mean, they just strike out all the time. And he's been relatively decent as of late, only allowing a 100 ISO to both sides of the plate over the last month. So, yeah, I do like a little bit of Yarborough. I'll have a little bit of him in my script. And the Kansas City Royals here. And I would be betting the Royals for this game, personally.
Okay. JJ, apparently Gary is a better betting expert. Probably better than
I'm
me.
not. Hey, wait.
I just said probably better than me. So I said Gary just –
This is what he
Gary?
does.
Gary, you listen to the whole thing, okay? You're the second best bettor on this show.
Gary.
Hey,
settle down, buddy. And AP's telling you not to do it, okay? So don't do it, Gary. JJ, should he do it is the question. The total here is 9, and the Royals are plus 145.
Is the should he or don't, is that around playing Yarborough? Is that what that was? I don't know what the should, what we're even referencing.
Well, I said I'd bet the Royals here.
Oh, bet the Royals. Okay. Missed that. Yeah. So for me, May is a fade at the price. No, thank you. I know that his strikeout rate's been high. Also, this park the entire weekend has just seen an enormous amount of runs. It's been super hot here in Kansas City. Now, again, a few degrees cooler today, but it's still very warm. You're looking at over 90 degrees with humidity. I think Yarbrough's a really good option at 5,300. I think that if you told me he gets 4 strikeouts, which I guess is a stretch, but if you told me he gets 4 strikeouts, I'd literally lock him in across the board, because at 5,300, a guy that's going to go 100 pitches, a guy that has been going 5-6 innings a start. I mean, it's not crazy for him to have the floor of 13 or 14 today with upside past 20 for the matchup. So overall, I really like Yarbrough 5,300, but my 8 is a no. And I definitely think you can mix and match some bats. They're cheap in this game. So definitely keep bats on the radar and no Maeda for me.
All right, couple things to get to. We're going too fast. So, Gary, maybe we can go back to the Braves here in a minute, get a little more detailed breakdown. That would be terrific.
Hey, I'll stick around for the 4 p.m. games.
I would love that, dude. That would be so nice. Yeah. I love working with Gary. Where's work, Chris says. Now, if you watched the show probably last week or the week before, I did say that I stayed at an alpaca farm. Joey, who has his fingers in just about everything. He's a card guy. He's an MMA promoter. He's all that. He started an alpaca trucking business, and he now ships alpacas cross country. So his first shipment was today. It went from Kansas to Oregon, and hopefully he'll be back next week. What's going on the bet side, JJ?
Yeah, college football right around the corner. Excited for that. I know we're just a few short weeks from it, so it'd be nice to get that Saturday DFS show back into the mix. Obviously, bets and whatnot. The first few weeks of the college football season, I always find to usually be the most exploitable before the markets kind of correct themselves with all the newbies coming aboard. But yeah, and then NFL is right behind that. We have a bit of what could be called a dry period for the next few weeks with really just baseball and some niche sports. But yeah, it's going to pick up quick, and that's why that summer 33 code is going to go out, because obviously we're going to start picking up very quickly, and the people that get the code, great, you'll be grandfathered in. But other than that, it's just business as usual. Baseball every day for the next few weeks until we get college football.
Yeah, Big T called me. It's like, you're already not doing enough. So let's just put more on your plate without the payoff. So thank you very much, JJ. I appreciate that. That was awesome. It's a wonderful call. I haven't called to chew your ass out yet, but that'll be happening later in the week. Also, thumbs up would be great. And then a monster announcement on Thursday. Let me see if AP got back to me in the chat yet. He has still not gotten back to me yet. So again, Thursday, monster addition to the team. Could be Siege. Might not be.
The Siege.
Oh, excuse me. Could be the Siege. Could be someone who used to work here. Might not be. I don't know. And as our friend Bill Miner always says, hit the like button. I mean, Bill, you are a saint, a prince among men. 27 days till college football, 39 to the NFL. Don't we got a preseason game next week, which I'm kind of not really excited about, but that's fine. Next one to get to, Gary, Cleveland and the White Sox, Aaron Savale and Michael Kopech. We love targeting us some Michael Kopech. Have the Guardians shown you enough recently to have any faith in rostering a 5 or even a 4-man against Kopech, the Kopech?
I mean, anytime I don't care who the offense is, anytime I have a team going against somebody with a 25% walk rate, I have interest. He's also been awful against left-handed bats this year. So I do like the Guardians here. They have a ton of lefties in the lineup. I think they have 6 lefties here. I like them all. Will Brennan has been hitting the ball pretty good. Like him for the price. Josh Naylor is my preference for over him or Josh Bell, but definitely like Josh Naylor here. Jose Ramirez, Gimenez, Quan. Even don't hate Arias at shortstop. So yeah, I've been attacking Kopech every start, basically all year. I'm not going to stop here just because it's the Guardians. The top of the lineup is definitely the preference. But like I said, I don't hate mixing in Brennan and Arias at the bottom of the lineup. And as far as the White Sox go and Savale is just a guy that I never really roster. He's 8,100. He does have a really good projection from captain, which is making me pause on him a little bit. I mean, man, he's got a 20 projection from the captain. And the captain his pitcher projections have been pretty spot on all year. Before I looked at that projection, I really didn't have any interest, but because it's like 5 points lower than that across the industry everywhere else. So it looks like captain has a pretty good stand on Savale. So I might have to add him into my pool a little bit here.
JJ, I mean, is it even worth bothering with this one? Total 9, minus 45 on the road for the Guardians, plus 125. Kopech loves walking dudes. You got anything here?
Don't like any of the pitchers, so easy fades on both ends. I agree with Gary. I basically never plays Savali. I do like Kopech, but I like him when he's pitching well. He really hasn't been. So easy fade for me there as well. The sticks, though, I think it's definitely worth mixing and matching some sticks in this game. You got a decently high total in warm weather, pitchers that are vulnerable. Savali, this season for him has just felt like such smoke and mirrors. And Kopech is definitely hittable, and Kopech is definitely going to give a bunch of free passes. So, yeah, I definitely could be convinced into mini stacks from both sides of this game. But as for the pitchers, again, another easy fade for me with both arms.
Our guy McCoy in the weather chat, in the baseball chat, he gives us great weather updates. He's just about as good as anyone I've seen. Outside of a spot shower from Milwaukee, Atlanta, I don't see appreciable concerns for any other games. So don't worry about the weather today. Also, AP just hit me up in the Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, get it together, boomers. And he told me who it is. JJ, is it your dad? John Shaw wants to know.
No. Some would argue that he already cameos here enough as it is.
Okay. So again, monster announcement, 5:30 Eastern time on Thursday. Could be the Siege, could be a former employee coming back. Could be somebody that no one's even thinking about right now. So Thursday, 5:30, be there. You'll get great baseball information, and then that's about it. Dwayne wants to let Gary know something. Your Braves looking for a third straight game of double-digit runs for the first time since 2007. Thanks for adding that. Yeah, of course you like it. You're Mr. Brave over there. Tampa Bay, Houston. Gary, I can't go to you first. I'm sorry. We do have a bet in this game, and actually we got a bet in the next game too. So without further ado, Tampa Bay, Houston. We got a couple of pitchers going for the Rays. We got Brandon Bielak on the other side. We got JJ just waiting to pummel this one. This total here is 9.5. Astros minus 25, plus 105 Rays. What's the bet here, JJ?
Bullpen day for the Rays. Behind Little, who typically, first of all, he has been pretty unlucky in his small sample of pitching. His ERA is definitely closer to high threes than it is the low fives. Exact opposite of that is Brandon Bielak, who I absolutely can't stand. The guy finds ways to get out of every jam he finds himself in. This is a complete Bielak fade. I could have went first five, but I decided to go full game for a little cheaper price. So, yeah, Rays minus 102. I think you can get a better number now because I think the Astros might have been steamed a bit since this morning.
Yeah, as I just said, plus 105.
Yeah, so definitely steamed a few bit. It was minus 102 before. You get an extra 7 cents in your favor now. Look, this spot makes sense for runs. Definitely no doubt there. But the Rays should be able to get to Bielak today, and I really like them as a small dog. As far as the bullpens, yeah, the Rays pen screwed me a few days ago. It could in theory today, but if you want to be safer, you can bet first five. This is just a Bielak fade and then taking a lead through through the later innings. So yeah, Rays for me, plus 105 now against the Astros.
Gary, let's talk about this game from a DFS perspective. You hear JJ liking the Rays. The Astros get their big guys back. They've got Jordan and Altuve back in the lineup. Things looking good for them. But JJ's sitting there back in the Rays. It's been pretty damn good betting. So talk to me. You got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so, I mean, I have issues here with the Rays. Bielak is terrible. I don't like Bielak. I'm not a Bielak guy either. But the Houston pen is really good. So, I mean, they could just yank them in the third or fourth inning and just go with their pen guys. That's my only worry with the Tampa Bay bats here. I do still like them. They're going to be low owned for sure. Both offenses on this game are going to be low owned, I think. I think I slightly prefer the Houston offense, obviously, with Jordan back. He hit a bomb last night. But I do also hate targeting bullpen games for hitters. But I think the public does too. That's why you're going to see Houston all under 10% on today's slate. So anytime I can get Houston, that's pretty much full go now. They got all their guys in there. I'm going to have interest. So I think from a DFS standpoint, I prefer the Houston Astros bats here. Just because, like I said, they're just fully healthy. They got Jordan back. He looks healthy because he hit a bomb yesterday. So, yeah, I'm going to be on both bats, but I'll probably have a little bit more Astros here.
Okay, very good. Let's hit the like button. Everything's good. right there. We'd love that. Summer 33 promo code's coming to an end. So if you want 33% off first payment of a weekly or monthly plan, might want to go and do that right now. What do we have to offer at Run Pure Sports? First of all, you don't have to pay for it. You'll get it for free. The big announcement coming up on Thursday with our new hire, our new addition. I don't think we would be building it up if it wasn't for a big time winner. So we got he or she coming on, or they, right, JJ? So we've got that. We've got a lot of other things. Baseball still, grinding the baseball out. Joey Work, JJ on the bet side. NFL starting up 39 days. We'll have preseason DFS and betting content. I'm sure there's tennis out there, NASCAR. JJ's going to get out of here in about 20 minutes, talk some NASCAR on that show. So much MMA. Gary, are you doing anything besides for baseball right now?
I mean, I dabble in MMA. I put one lineup in. I think MMA is I don't like it as a DFS sport. I think it's a lotto ticket. I did not do well last night. I'll put it that way.
You did not do well.
So mostly just baseball for me.
Oof. All right. Just baseball. I'm still looking for somebody to come on and do the DK show with me tomorrow. Me and Meg are going to do a first look at DK. It's just 39 days away. So it'll be 38 by then. All right, let's go. Gary, one more game, and you've got to wait again because JJ has a bet in this game with the Cubs and the Cardinals. Okay, so in this game, the total is sitting at 9, and it's actually juiced to the over plus 105, minus $1.25 to the under. Cubs are plus 115 on the money line. This is an interesting one here, JJ. I know you got a total bet, but I'm just looking at the Cubs lineup. Yan Gomes is hitting cleanup today. His team's won 8 in a row. I've watched this whole series. Been a lot of fun. Steven Matz, on the other hand, has really dominated the guys in the Cubs lineup from that standpoint. So Kyle Hendricks not walking as many guys this year as he did last year. Is kind of back on track. What do you got for the Cubs at the Cardinals?
Yeah, so this has moved about 15 to 20 cents, pending your book from the time, we got the number early this morning. But yeah, under 9, minus 110. I think now, as you mentioned, hold about minus 125 is the number. Part of that's because of the lineups. I'd love to sit here and say, CLV, but part of it's because of the lineups that got released for why that line moved a bit. But the reason why I like the under is because Steven Matz is basically pitching as good as he has all year, which I know that's not saying much. But I'm pretty sure we got a streak of like 18 to 20 innings with 2 or 3 total earned, kind of finding himself. And this sport is streaky, as we know. And speaking of pitchers that have been streaky, Hendricks on the other end has been quite streaky himself, pitching quite well and getting a ton of ground balls. And if we know anything about this Cardinals team is that when they've ran into pitchers that are throwing well, they just seem to not overcome it, despite all the big names in this lineup. So, yeah, it's going to be warm in St. Louis today, no doubt. But believe it or not, I think it was 104, 105 yesterday. So, again, another game where it is a little cooler, but 90 is still very warm. But I do like the pitching matchup here. I don't mind the Pens either. So, yes, I think it makes a ton of sense here for this under 9. I wouldn't go chasing 8.5 with steam if it comes up because now you're getting really close into dangerous territory with this park and this number. But 9 to me made a ton of sense at minus 110, and it's playable at minus 125. I just wouldn't go as strong. And Gary, I'm interested in your thoughts. Pound for pound, it does feel like Steven Matz might be the best option on the slate. And especially with my consideration of how I like this spread. He's 5,300 or 5,200, might even be. He doesn't need to do anything really at that price in a good matchup. So, Gary, I'm interested in your thoughts on Matz.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Matz here. He's one of my – for the price, you can't get – he's got a 13% swing and strike rate over the last 5 weeks, which is right up there with the top price guys. So yeah, I'm on board. I'm just looking at this lineup for the Cubs here the last 30 days against lefties. They got a 147 ISO and a 295 WOBA. It's not good. It's really only been Bellinger and Dansby.
You take Bellinger out of that lineup, and he's facing a lefty today. But you take Bellinger out of that lineup, those numbers are way down too. He's been doing all the production.
Yeah, he's got everything, and Matt's over the last 30 days, he's got a 36% strikeout rate against right-handed bats, and he's going to face 8 of them here today. It's a smash spot for him. I don't know. I'm seeing 16% ownership, which, man, chalky Steven Matz, that puts him about like the 4th highest owned pitcher on the slate. That is my only worry here. Just chalk Steven Matz always scares me. But all the numbers support him being a great play today. So I'm in on Steven Matz. I'm also in on Kyle Hendricks on the other side. St. Louis only threw out 3 lefties in today's lineup, which over the last month, Kyle Hendricks has really struggled to strike out lefties specifically. So he's got a 29% strikeout against right-handed bats over the last month, and getting massive amounts of ground balls, 62% ground balls versus righties. So I definitely like both pitchers in this game. But yeah, and Matt's, like I said, my only worry is the ownership here. But yeah, definitely a smash play today.
All right, very good. So we got through the 8-game main slate. We are going to talk about the afternoon slate here with Gary, a 4-gamer there. And then JJ, we do have time. Usually we talk about these late games anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But that is the early slate. Gary, you want to give us a Don call on this one, and then we could just move on to the afternoon slate.
All right, so I'll give you a Don call. I'm going to give it to you from Kansas City, off of Kenta Maeda. I think Michael Massey is going to hit another bomb today. Michael Massey. I just like it. I like the Royals today. I don't know why I like the Royals.
Yes.
What?
I did. He goes, did he say why? And I said, yeah. He said, why? I wanted to know why. He said, Michael Massey.
I mean, he's got a 268 ISO against right-handed pitching over the last month. So
it was how you said it. It was how you said it.
Yeah. What is that supposed to mean? How I said it. What does that mean, JJ? How I said it. I asked him a question with a question mark.
It was like, why? Like,
why?
Like in disgust.
Why would you like this? I would like an explanation.
It was said in disgust.
Gee, it was not disgust whatsoever.
Exactly.
Michael Massey is probably in AP's core today. Let me go check out the cores. I mean, I'll get over there in a minute. He's got to be in his core, right? He's a Royal. I think, honestly, Gary, I think that AP is a bigger Royal homer than you are. He's not in his core today.
He has no Royals in his core.
He likes some Cubs. I really want to like the Cubs too, AP. Are we going to get the Cubs at decent ownership today, like lower ownership than normal?
I mean, they're not going to be owned. I mean, Mass is going to be popular. So, I mean, from a leverage standpoint, I mean, the Cubs do make some sense.
All right, let's get to the 4:00 slate. Before we do that, we kind of got a game that's on FanDuel that's sandwiched in there that we could talk more from the bet side. Here in Denver, another hot day, funky cold Luis Medina going up against Ty Block. So 2 horseshit pitchers. That's why the total's up to 12 now. Juice the over at -15. A's even money. Rockies -20. JJ, the ball should be flying today. I don't know if I want to back at 12 though.
Tickets are as low as $3 for this game. For those, for those that want to go see it. So overall, I said this yesterday with this game. Look, cores, when you take a team like the Athletics into town, it makes it really difficult to want to bet overs or unders because you get bad pitching and you get bad hitting. Basically, which one gives, and I'm not looking to try to figure that out. There has been a lot of runs in this series, but yes, it's been very warm. As Holden mentioned, you have 2 below average pitchers going today. Arrows going a bunch of different directions for me here. But on FanDuel, overstack this game. I'm sure everybody will find a way to make it work. But as far as betting wise, complete pass for me. 2 tomato cans. Why bet this game of all games today?
Hit the like button if you haven't already for this amazing content you've gotten. Gary, do you have any thoughts, or you just want to move on to the 4:00 slate?
We can move on to the 4:00.
Very good.
That's not a slate for me. So
let's do that. We got 15 minutes. We got 4 more games to get to. Then I'm kind of excited about this. We got a couple of openers, and then at some point in time, Nick Pivetta should come in and mow down the San Francisco Giants. Boston at San Francisco here, Gary. If we're playing the afternoon slate, any reason to go to this one? And if you do, who are we going to?
I mean, I like Boston here. They've just been hitting the ball really well as of late. I haven't really seen them the last couple of days, but I mean, Tristan Casas. I know there's a lefty on the hill today, but hopefully he's in the lineup because he's been like their best hitter over the last month. Justin Turner and Devers as well. So I do like the Red Sox here, but I don't know if I like Pivetta or not. So I probably won't go to any pitching in this game.
You're going to stay away from this one. Okay. So, JJ, we've got the Red Sox favored on the road -15, but the Giants are -105. So almost a pick 'em here. 8 is the total, lower total. And again, we're going to see a lot of pitchers today. So stay away spot for you, or you find an angle?
I'd love to go back to the sticks here. This was the one game I lost yesterday with the over. I think the teams were like 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. There was a ton of foot traffic in that game yesterday. It just didn't amount to runs. And of course, the one home run that was hit came in walk-off fashion, where extra innings might have helped me push that over. But there's been a lot of contact in this series that just hasn't amounted to runs. So take that for what you want. If you just look at box scores, you're going to think, oh, well, there hasn't been hits this series. There's been a ton of hits this series, ton of people on base, just hasn't amounted to runs. So strong lean over the number of 8, despite the decent pitching initial matchup. And yes, to be a double bullpen day. Bullpens have seen a lot of work this series as well. It's been a lot of close games this series. So yeah, even more for me to lean over, but I'll be heavily tilted if I lose another game where, the teams combined to go 2 for 27 runners in scoring position. So I'll likely stay away, but I do really like this game over. I hate losing the back-to-back the same game twice.
Gary, we've got Cincinnati and the Dodgers, and Graham Ashcraft. If you look at the season numbers, it's been absolutely abysmal. But then if you just look at the bottom at the game logs here, he's throwing himself 5-6 innings, and he's not giving up big days is the thing. So Graham Ashcraft at LA against the Dodgers. We don't have the lineups yet. And then on the other side, Michael Grove has also kind of been a punchy bag at times this season. He's a guy that really doesn't get lit up either. So I wonder if you are comfortable in rolling out either side here with 2 good offenses with the Reds and the Dodgers.
I think I'm on the Cincinnati Reds here more so than the Dodgers. I mean, just looking at Graham Ashcraft's last 30-day numbers, he's not really giving up much. 121, 128 ISO to lefties, 075 ISO to righties, 268 WOBA versus lefties, 63% ground ball rate. So, I mean, I know it's the Dodgers, but, man, I think this is a good spot just to fade the Dodgers and go on the other side because I would much rather attack Michael Grove here. I think I've been attacking him pretty much all season, and this Reds team should have 5, 6, maybe even 7 lefties in the lineup today. So I like all the lefties here for the Reds, and I'm not going to pitch Ashcraft. I don't think you have to do that on this slate. But 6,300, I mean, it is interesting. It's very tempting.
Hey, JJ, totals 10. The Reds are plus 150 in LA. Any reason to go here?
Strong lean under. Said this yesterday, where they were hanging a total of 10.5 at this park. It's just a massive number for the park. I get it. You can look at a game and say, oh, these 2 pitchers suck. Let me just bet the over. But do keep in mind, these parks are built certain ways where they have advantages to hitters, advantages to pitchers, blah, blah, blah. You're just not going to see many totals of 10 at this park. I stayed away yesterday because it was going to be like very warm last night. It won't be as much tonight. But, yeah, I don't know. It's dropped a half run, so it's 10 now. These pitchers both give up a ton of hard contact. But, yeah, again, another strong lean under. Yesterday was 3-2. Barely any sweat if you bet that under. And I would lean that way again.
For those of you that are not aware, Thursday, big edition, an announcement is coming. I believe we'll have our first football show of the season as well. So huge announcement. Could be Siege, could be a former employee, could be somebody completely off the grid, but whoever it is one of the biggest winners in DFS history. Well, does that take Siege out of the mix there, JJ?
No comment.
Okay, very good. It's great to hear. Trig Shenander, minus 20 units MLB following RPS bets.
That's
First of all, I just had a 16-year-old blind dog knock down a couple of lights here. So if you can get out of here, Mr. Wiggles, that'd be great. The next thing I'd like to say is it's almost maybe it's the wrong site, dipshit. JJ's been on fire. Joey works terrific. How can this man be minus? Will you get out of here, dude? Seriously. How can we be down 20 units?
It's all timing, right? I think that sports betting is a long-term piece. If you sign up for 3 weeks, in theory, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Trig Charmander, I think you're lying, or you're the worst Taylor in the history of the world, because JJ just went on a monster run, and I cannot see anybody losing that much. But again, you could just be awful at tailing bets, and it really is an art. I'm not even kidding. Texas at San Diego, third of a 4-gamer on the afternoon slate. Gary, Blake Snell, unstoppable, 9,300. We got Cody Bradford as a bulk reliever today. Padres hosting the Rangers. You want some bats from this game?
I mean, yes. I mean, it's hard not to like Blake Snell. He's been really, really good. The only thing that has not been going good for him is his walk rate. So, I mean, there's always potential for Snell to get himself into trouble by walking so many batters. And this, looking at the last 30-day numbers against lefties for this team, even the season numbers for this Texas team against lefties, they have like 4 or 5 guys have a walk rate over 10% against lefties. So there is, I think, some opportunity here to maybe get some leverage by playing some Texas Rangers bats on this short slate, because Blake Snell is definitely going to be the highest owned. He's probably going to be 50+% owned on this slate. So I think if you fade Snell and play some Texas bats, it gets you a lot different. And like I said, we're just hoping that he goes out and continues walking, because looking over the last 30 days, 17% walk rate against righties, 23% walk rate against lefties. So that's pretty averaging to about a 20% walk rate, and that's never good. So I like the Texas Rangers here more than I like Snell.
You want to chime in on this one here with Snell, a -195 favorite, Rangers +165, and the total's 9, JJ.
Tough to fade Snell on almost any regard these days. It just feels like if you're looking to hope he pitches poorly, just go somewhere else with the board. In relation to this, nice to see Texas, trying to do some more stuff. What is it, unlimited bankroll? I mean, with how many contracts they're just inheriting. Kudos to them in that regard, I guess. But no, I don't love anything in this matchup. And if you're playing the late slate, I think you just have to lock in Snell. If he loses it for you, he loses it for you. But based on how the slate plays out, he'd be tough to avoid.
I like that they're going out and trying. I hated the Scherzer contract when it happened. I don't know if there's just anybody that's better on the market is the problem. Like his body's breaking down. He's older at this point. Maybe he's got 3 or 4 months left in him here where he can just go.
I don't know. Would y'all rather have Acuna's little brother or Max Scherzer, 40 years old?
I don't know. This year, I'd probably rather have Scherzer because Acuna's little brother ain't going to help me this year.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I get it. Yeah. I just think it's a terrible trade.
A terrible trade. Well, it's going out.
I mean, but I also respect the Rangers. They're going for it. So okay. I mean, in their eyes, I mean, he's going to make their. I mean, their starting bullpen, their starting staff has been just terrible as of late. Over the last
bullpen
month, so they do need a starter.
Yeah. See if they can get Jordan Hicks from St. Louis. Seattle and Arizona in Phoenix. The last game we're going to talk about here on this 4-gamer in the afternoon. Luis Castillo, Merrill Kelly. Let's do this real quick, Gary.
This is easy for me. I love both pitchers in this game. They're my favorite 2 pitchers on the slate.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the betting side here? Mariners and Diamondbacks -10 both sides, and the total's just 8, JJ.
Prefer the D-backs end, but would only prefer them for first 5. D-backs went through quite a decent amount of pen spots yesterday. Merrill Kelly at home has always been somebody I've trusted more. I know that this year his reverse splits home road aren't as egregious as they've been in years past, but Castillo always seems to struggle more on the road. Just seems like a perfect spot to back the D-backs first 5. But didn't love it enough because Castillo's just been so good this year. And the Mariners haven't been hitting. I don't know if you've seen these lineups they put out daily, but it's been tough to watch. But no, it's kind of my take on it.
And they've been taking on some really bad pitching too. It's just, they're just not rolling it out is right. There is a night game tonight, JJ. So real quick on this one with the Yankees and Orioles, Luis Severino, Dean Kramer, 8.5 total. Yankees +15 on the road, -135 for the Orioles. The best team in the American League East right now. What do you got? Any thoughts on tonight's game?
It was nice to hit that over in this game yesterday. I said it was my favorite bet of the slate. I think it went over like the 5th or 6th inning. This today might be a little different though. I like Kramer. I actually don't mind Severino, but I don't mind Severino when he's home. On the road, he seems to struggle severely. I don't know. Baltimore 130 seems high as well, though. Total of 9 seems about right. I actually like the total 9.5 more yesterday with what I consider to be worse pitchers. Both these pitchers have upside, despite their high ERAs. They both do have good upside. So overall, I think this game is relatively fair, but I do think you're going to see runs regardless. It's just a matter of if you'll get to 9.
Pretty simple stuff there. Gary, you want to talk about tonight's game, or you're not even going to watch it?
Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it. I love the Orioles. They're kind of like my de facto second favorite team. They're the hometown team.
Yeah.
But I think the Orioles get the job done tonight. I'm going to be heavy on the
Nationals
Orioles side.
are the hometown team for you.
No, the Nationals are the Expos. They're from Montreal. They're terrible. They're Canadians. They're trying to be they're trying to be patriotic Americans, and they're actually Canadians. It's terrible. It's awful.
Okay, very
that's
good.
That's where Gary draws the line.
Yeah, he was a member of the Coast Guard, so you did have to defend us from those wily Canadians coming down here and trying to take our land, right, Gary?
We don't defend land in the Coast Guard. We defend.
Well, they have to go through the ocean sometimes, don't they, Gary?
We have a big ass land border with Canada.
Yeah, but if you were smart, you would take on the Coast Guard, wouldn't you, Gary?
Well, that would be a bad idea. Massive
Announcement coming Thursday on the show. Yes, Gary does hate Canada, and I don't know why. It's a very clean country with nice people. That's all I can say, Gary. Massive
I didn't
announcement
say I hated Canada, by the way. FYI.
Thursday. That's going to be great. Bill Miner throwing it in there. He absolutely loves us. That's great to see. Like button on the way out. Best bet. Huh?
I said I love you, Bill. Is there any issues there, Holden?
Thanks for chiming in with something so important that you had to interrupt the great host.
Romantic.
What's your best bet, JJ?
I kind of like them both the same, but the Cardinals game under the number and the Rays as a small dog against the Astros.
How about a like button on the way out? Gary, one more time. Who's your favorite stack on the early slate?
I'm going to go with the Royals. I'm sticking with the Royals. I like the Royals here quite a bit.
Okay. Phillies first 5 run line for me against the Pirates today. Super huge whale cock play of the day is going to be Braves plus 3.5 runs at minus 1,400. That'll probably win. Not guaranteeing it. J-Ruff, I'm not staying on for NASCAR. I've been to one race. It was 20-something years ago. It was in Kansas, and that was enough for me. So I'd rather go to a biker bar dressed in a suit than go back to another race. And that's about it. JJ, wonderful to see you as always. Thank you so much for the time.
I wish that feeling was mutual.
Gracing us with your presence. It's so nice. Gary, it is a pleasure, believe it or not. And I also want to let everybody know Thursday monster announcement. Could be Siege, could be a former employee, could be somebody else. All I know is football's 39 days away for the NFL, 27 days for college football. And I think this upcoming week we'll have our first NFL show. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's about it for JJ and for Gary. I'm Holden, and please keep running pure.